independent publishing is the way to go nowadays, where you go with a firm that helps you, like you did, because you leave so much money on the table if you go with a big publisher. And unless you get at least a 6-figure advance, you won't get the oomph that you need. And then most people don't understand that even if they're with a big publisher, they go through the whole agent publisher route. Unless your book does a lot of numbers right out the gate in the first 90 days, it'll be remaindered. So I remember Brene Brown telling a story about that. She wrote some awesome books later, but one of her first books, she was like all happy. And then the publisher called and said it's been remaindered. She's like, what does that mean? It means they pull the book from the shelf and they destroy it. So done. So what I like about publishing independently is you keep control of your story, which was really important to David Goggins, and you also keep control of your lead magnet, which is important if you're running a business. But even if you're writing fiction, like I help people write fiction as well, you can see exactly what's happening. You can see what marketing works, if it makes a difference if you go on that podcast, if it makes a difference with your social media, and you can also even use a fiction book as a lead magnet for your business. I have a legal thriller series written by a lawyer, Michael Stockham, and he's getting $1 million deals as a litigation attorney coming to him, because when people or corporations consider all the litigation's attorneys, like all the suits look the same, except this one. This one stands out. There's something interesting going on here. He's an award-winning, best-selling author of legal thrillers. Let's work with him because it'll be more interesting, and he will deliver a great value as a litigation attorney. But it's fun to work with the best-selling author.
Yeah, and what people understand, depending on why you're writing the book and what's the plan for the book, because you talk about lead magnets, and we can get that into more after this. But when you can make a course from your book. You can do so many different things, and if you sell that, you don't have rights to what your words are inside. For most people who sell their rights to their book. Now, a couple authors interviewed yesterday for Helping the Brave. Different for them, because they have series and they have different things and they're writing, so they have total control over what their contracts are versus what our contract might be with your first book. And like you're talking about, so they pay you so much, they own it. You can't go on stage and talk about your stuff inside of there. For most people, you can't turn it into a course. They own it. You don't anymore, unless you have that set up ahead of time. And so for me, my whole book was to get a course out of it and do other things down the road. And that's the plan. And same with a bunch of other stuff. But back to a lead magnet, I came into lead magnets because for my website, I want people to be able to come there and get information and download information. And I created lead magnets for, certain things in the mortgage industry and certain things in other industries. And so you're saying use your actual book, because for most people, lead magnets, maybe an ebook or certain things, or what are you talking about as a lead magnet for a book yourself?
I think you can use your whole book, or you can use a short book as a lead magnet. But, because you like to talk about setbacks, I thought it would be kind of cool to talk about a pivot. It's kind of a setback. I got frustrated. I got burned out. Let's be honest. I got burned out with the company that I was running a couple of years ago. It was called the Grief Coach Academy. My husband died suddenly when he was 33. And so I devoted several decades of my life to helping people through grief. And then I'd had enough about talking about grief, and I wanted to segue to something new. But I wanted to pivot smartly and test and make sure that people were interested in the new thing. So this is something I recommend that people can do.